Welcome to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Main, awesome wife and dog mom for life. I'm a sex therapist turned sex coach, and I run a successful business selling relationship enhancement products. I absolutely love talking about all things sex. So you can expect this podcast to explore all things related to women's sexual health because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you discover and embrace what brings you pleasure so that you can own your sexual self. If that sounds good to you, then keep listening and let's fucking do this. I am so fucking excited, you guys. Seriously. Listen, have you ever heard anybody refer to themselves as a sparkly slut? Nope, probably not. But that's exactly why I have on the guest that I have on today. This is Tricia, aka Safe Slut. That's how you can find her on Instagram at Safe Slut. And she is a holistic esthetician, herbalist, reiki practitioner, a makeup artist, a writer, and a sexual health and slut advocate. Seriously, she does so many things. I came across her profile on Instagram and I was like, I have to have this person on my podcast. Like, it just has to happen. Tricia created Safe Slut, the Instagram account, after her GHSV2 diagnosis to help end shaming towards those with STIs and promote safer sex practices. Along with sex positivity, she throws in some witch tips for health and reclaiming your power, and also helps end the stigma surrounding slut-shaming. She makes healing herbal potions, which I'm so excited to talk to her today about yoni steaming. And she makes them specifically for people with vulvas and STIs, and she also offers that reiki healing. So I am so excited. Without further ado, welcome, Tricia. Welcome, Tricia, to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. I already told you I'm feeling a little starstruck to have you on today. I love the work that you're doing, and you are spreading so much education for people around herpes and STIs, and now this new thing, yoni steaming, that we're gonna talk about largely today. So, thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm so curious to hear your story. So how did you get in this line of work?
Yeah, so I have been, okay, it's like a long story of like, I feel like, because I kind of weave so many things into Safe Slut, but when I was in college, I had really bad acne, so that kind of led me into the skincare realm, specifically like natural products, just because I realized going to a dermatologist, like, kind of like burned my skin off and just like didn't really feel right. I wasn't really getting to the root of my issues. So after college, I went to aesthetic school to be to do like facials and stuff. And then during that time, I also went to herbalism school. Those were just online classes, so I learned more about like plants, whether that's like internal uses or external. And that was like a nice like thing to go like hand in hand with skincare. So yeah, and just like genuinely being interested in healing that. And then as well as I've always had like really bad like UTIs and like yeast infections. So very interested in vulva care. So was doing that for a couple of years. And then I was always interested in Reiki as well. But I never really had the time or the funds to get certified in it. So it's now November 2019. I got diagnosed with genital herpes. So it kind of like shook me to the core. So just kind of like dealing with that, I ended up getting attuned in Reiki level 1 like 2 weeks after. And that was really helpful in my healing process. And then a few months after that, I got attuned in Reiki 2. So I could do like distance healing and just kind of like learned a lot more about Reiki. So I was making my own skincare products before I got herpes, specifically like tinctures. I was selling yoni steams before that as well, a few face products, and then a few like vulva oils and stuff like that. And then when I got herpes, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I already like know what I can do to help treat outbreaks and make sure everything's like good on my vulva and whatnot. So then I made Safe Slut. I wasn't sure if I was going to start selling products initially. I kind of wanted to, but I was just like, genuinely just wanted to make an account to talk to other people who had it. Yeah. Of course, feels really lonely when you first get it. Yeah. And you like don't know what to do. So once that kind of like took off a little bit, I was like, you know, I should sell my goddess oil, which is my vulva healing oil. And so it kind of went from there. So now I sell like other products like PMS blends and sleep tinctures, and I have a herpes tincture as well. And I've been doing yoni steaming for years. I know it's like pretty controversial, but I wanted to share that with everyone on Safe Slut as well. Just as I feel like I also use it as a blend for, like, if someone has an outbreak, they can put it in their bath, or they just want like a soothing bath. You can put those herbs in the bath as well. Use it in a sitz bath, which is what a lot of people do when they have outbreaks. But yeah, so that's like general gist of the story.
Yeah, because I saw it's like this little blend and it comes in this little organza bag, and so yeah, I know we're gonna speak a lot about that. And so thank you for sharing your journey, and again, thank you for creating that account, because I know that you've grown it quite largely. And like I said, I came across you through who knows how, probably a hashtag or something like that. And
Right.
it's been so beneficial and so educational, and you normalize so many things. And I think there are so many more people out there with the same diagnosis that just don't talk about it and don't know where to go. So yeah, thank you for being a resource and sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just think it's important, because I think a lot of the time with herpes, people are kind of like, oh, like, you'll be fine, you'll find someone who will want to date you. And my main reason for Safe Slut is kind of like, cool, like, I'm aware that like I can date someone, it's fine. But it's more like the casual hookups and like sex. Like, I don't want to give that up.
Yeah.
I'm 26. Like, that's not
Yeah.
not stopping that. So just kind of like making sure people know that they can still do it in a safer way, and all of that. So that's like the main thing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so tell us how would somebody benefit from using or doing the steaming practice? What would they see?
So there's like a lot, when you research it, you'll see there's so many benefits to it. You'll be like fertility, like PMS, endometriosis, blah, blah, blah. And I don't like to make claims about, I mean, with any herbal products, you shouldn't make any claims about it. I don't know if it helps with like fertility and stuff like that. I've read that people liked it and used it for that, but there's no like medical information about it. And a lot of the medical professionals are like not about it. But I personally like it I do it about once a month or so. I use it as just like a form of meditation mainly. The specific herbs that I chose are good for, like, it helps with, like, it can help with sexual trauma, which I think is really interesting. Just like the certain herbs and like what their benefits are and whatnot. And yeah, I like it. I've noticed myself for PMS, just kind of like getting all like the extra stuff out. If that doesn't like shed during the my period, where it gets like you start like spotting and stuff like that, like it helps with that. Everyone's also going to react to it differently. For herpes, it's been said it can be used as a preventative. Some people get triggered by steam for herpes outbreaks, so those are the people I would say don't do it. But yeah, various ways to use it.
Yeah. And so how does the steaming practice look like? What does it look like?
So there's a few ways you can go about it. I do it the very DIY way. I just boil a pot of water, put the herbs in, let it like simmer for a couple minutes. Then I'll move it to a smaller pot, and I'll just get my yoga mat out and then put the pot on. And then I'll just undress from the waist down, put a blanket over me so that I don't I trap the steam in. And then I squat over it for like 15 to 20 minutes. I'll kind of do like a child's pose, mainly with like my like butt up a little bit more. Mainly just gotta be careful that you don't get it too close to the steam, because it will obviously burn. There's also seats that you can use, but they're like pretty pricey, so I haven't bought one yet. Because I also don't have space for this like giant stool thing in my apartment. But that's obviously like way more comfortable, because honestly after like 15 minutes or so, like my body's like very uncomfortable from sitting in that position. So I kind of like move around a little bit, but usually I'll just like do that, and then like either I'll read or just try to meditate, put on something like relaxing music, journal. So it's just like a nice like ritual to do before bed. I'd like to do it like a week or so before my period.
Okay. And is that for a certain reason, doing it before the period?
Yeah, I feel like it says it can help with cramping as well. So that's like one of my main things. Is I get really bad cramps. So kind of letting it like simmer in there for a little bit before, I think is like a nice time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For sure.
And then you said you do it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Is that what's recommended for somebody that's using this?
Yeah, usually some people have said to do it for a little bit longer, but just because like my body can't stay in that position for that long, I'll try to do a half hour, but honestly, I think 15 to 20 minutes is plenty of time.
Yeah. And how would somebody know if they were getting too close to the steam?
You'll feel how hot it is. Like, it should be enough where you can just like feel warmth, but like if it's just like you just feel like hot, like then it's a no. It's kind of more like, I don't even want to say intuitive. It's just sort of like, you'll just know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that I've read a lot of people have burned themselves, which I'm just sort of like, I mean, it was hot.
Yeah.
Like, just move away from it a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's, like I was telling you before, I did a post on this, and I did have a lot of medical professionals that are,
mm-hmm.
they were not about it. And like I said,
mm-hmm.
coming from that ER background, I get it, because it does sound like a lot of the mistakes are people doing it at home instead of maybe going somewhere. I know there's lots of places that offer this service now, and it is, like
mm-hmm.
I said, it is something that is definitely being explored more. People have questions about it, and I think just especially with this movement that we have towards women's sexuality in general right now, it's becoming, again, something that people want information about. So to me, like when you're describing it, like I've had facials before, obviously you know about that. So like when they're putting the steam on your face, it would feel similar than if you're steaming
right.
down there as well.
Exactly. Cause even when I'm giving someone a facial and like, I'll put the steam on them, I always ask like, if you get like, even if it's not too hot, some people just get like uncomfortable with it. So it just kind of like your comfort level. And also, like, if you put your hand, I've done this many times, and you're just kind of, like, feeling it, I get, like, too close to it, and I literally burn my hand. So it's just sort of like, yeah, just, like, don't get too close to it. Yeah. But I do think the other thing about, like, medical professionals, like, being, like, absolutely do not do it, is because there's no medical information about it. So it seems, no one really knows. They've only read, like, some bad things about it, and then, like, Gwyneth Paltrow and like her brand Goop or something, which is just like kind of a little crazy. Kind of gives it a bad name, I feel like. And then people who just make like crazy claims about it because there's no real accurate way to know. Mm-hmm. But it's been a practice that's been around forever, especially from various cultures. Like, I know it's like a lot of Asian cultures, Africa, European, so it's just like so widespread. And then when modern gynecology came around, they were kind of like, absolutely not do this anymore. But that's because it was like more men becoming doctors as opposed to just like old herbalists and healers that were kind of telling people with vulvas that's what they should be doing. So yeah, I find that super interesting as well.
And I wonder, too, if a little bit of it comes from the fact that we know that our vulvas and vaginas are basically, they have this self-cleaning mechanism to them. And so I think sometimes when people would see something like yoni steaming or vaginal steaming, they may automatically go to, like I did, I'm like, oh, it's for cleansing. But it's not,
right.
Like, in a way, yes, it's cleansing, but it's like, it's more than that. Like, it's...
Yeah, when I posted about it, last week, a few people were like, commented and were like, the vagina's self-cleaning, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, trust me, I'm very aware of that. I was like, I think, people think it's a cleaning product when that's not what it is. So, people, which, I mean, it makes sense that was what their first initial reaction would be to it. Because people will say, like, cleanse the uterus, but in the terms of cleanse, they mean, like, detoxify, not necessarily cleanse, which, again, those could be like kind of like buzzwords, and it's that's what I was feeling that same way. I'm like, I don't know if like cleanse is the right word. Detoxify for sure. I like because
free
even
almost.
I have a colleague who was saying that after she gave birth, her doctor was like, do yoni steaming to help like tighten the muscles again. And my sister-in-law, her whole family has talked about that they used to do that as well. So it's hard to say, like...
Yeah, because I've had doctors tell me before, again, you mentioned having, like, UTIs and stuff. I was that person. Come to find out, when you use pH-balanced lubes, that can help, too. But just had to throw that in there. But when I would go to the gynecologist or primary care and like mentioning that I'm having this pain because I have a UTI or bladder infection, they would tell you to put a warm washcloth there. So it's like that's still similar. You're still providing heat down there, but again, I'm not going to put like a boiling hot washcloth over my vulva, but I'm going to put a warm one there, right? Like that's going to feel beneficial.
Exactly. And or just, I think it was just about like the steam in general, where they're like, oh, it can harbor bacteria, which again, like, yeah, I feel like if you're like prone to like steam as like an issue, that could be a thing. I just feel like everybody's different, and I think I just had a hard time with doctors, specifically like skincare wise and also vaginal issues, where they just want to prescribe me like crazy medications and stuff where it just doesn't help or makes it worse. And it never gets the root of it, when like I'd always prefer to go to the natural route. And like if the natural stuff doesn't work, then I'm like, okay, then let's go do some actual like Western medicine. But I don't know, if I can do it natural, I'd rather, especially if I can do it from home. Because a lot of, I think the reason I've always been into like natural products as well and like DIY stuff is just because I'm like, it's inexpensive. Like I can just do it at home on my own time, you know, it's just easier.
Yeah, for sure. I would say, yeah, same. If it's inexpensive, I can try it, and that's going to save me a lot of doctor's visits or insurance claims and, you know, all that bullshit that we go through. You know, why not do it and do it safely? So
yeah, exactly.
When somebody is doing the steaming process, will they notice, like, is there any indication that it's quote unquote working during that process, or is that more so effects after?
It would definitely be after. It can take, everyone's different, so like maybe like a couple of months or so. I feel like after I do it each time, like I don't know, I feel like last time I did it, I got my period a little bit earlier, and I was like, oh, I wonder if there was just like a lot more fluids going on up there that just like needed to come out. So yeah, everyone's definitely different. Proceed with caution. Always start small, like doing it like once a month. Like don't overdo it. But yeah, initially you won't really feel anything, but like you will feel relaxed. So
yeah, just like
nice.
a warm vulva. Like that just sounds so nice.
Yeah, and like I've read a lot too that like when you're done, you should just get like right into bed and just like stay like nice and cuddled, just trapping the heat more and whatnot. So it's just nice.
Yeah. And then is there any sort of, because you're using herbs and things, are there certain smells that someone would feel? And then I'm thinking like peeing afterwards, will they notice anything like odor wise?
You'll smell a little bit florally after, which obviously like I love. It's like very like earthy and herbally. That doesn't stay for that long. Like it's not meant to stay there as an odor. It's just kind of like an after effect of just the steam. So I guess if you pee right after, you probably would just get like whiffs of the of the herbs. Which is nice.
Yeah. I have flower pee now, thank you.
Yeah, lovely.
So aside from the possibility of burning, would you say that there's any other risks involved with somebody that might be wanting to try this?
Yeah, so if you have an IUD, it's a no-go. That's like the main contraindication. I've known people that still have done it and have been fine, but it's just because it can what's it called, stimulate circulation in the body. So that can like open things, move things around, so it's not safe for that. If you just had a miscarriage, if you're trying to get pregnant, if you are pregnant, if you're spotting, if you're bleeding, or if you have any like active sores, or like if you have a yeast infection, UTI, any type of infection.
Interesting.
So,
okay, yeah. Glad I asked that. That's important.
Yes. So when I ship the product, I have a little card of like how to, and then also every contraindication. And then I always write a hand note that's like, please be cautious. It's hot.
Yes.
Use your judgment. Like.
Yeah, and please read the info card that I have included in here because it's very important for your vulva.
Please, like, put it on your fridge or something so you always can read it.
Yeah, that's so cool. Awesome. So I'm curious on like the cost of something like this. So I know that you sell them now that people can order through your website, which we'll definitely link in the show notes for them. Is this something that is, you would say, like cost affordable?
Oh yeah, definitely. So the one that I send will give you about like 3 to 4 uses. I just use like a heavy pinch or so. I give a little bit more than a cup of the herbs. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the main reason why I was attracted to it. As I said before, it's very inexpensive. And also, like, people can also make their own at home. It's literally just a blend of herbs. So if you have access to an herb store or obviously like Amazon or something. So yeah, really easy. And then you just need a pot. So
yeah,
very simple.
pot of water. Oh, I knew I was going to ask something else because I thought of this one again when I was thinking, like, making the connection between facial and this. So when they do the steaming, anyways, for the facials that I've had, they sort of wrap my head in this, like, cloth. They still allow me to breathe, but they, like, put, essentially like a washcloth over your face. Would you recommend, like, let's say if somebody was nervous of burning themselves, could they somehow create, like, a cloth diaper in a way and apply that, or would that not have the same effect for them?
Do you mean like steam with the cloth over it, or put the herbs in the cloth?
Steam with the cloth over it.
I feel like that would be fine, honestly. It might feel kind of uncomfortable, but I think that would be fine. It wouldn't, I don't think the steam would obviously go through it as much. I think it wouldn't be as strong, but I don't know. I haven't tested it out, so that's something to think about.
Yeah, that popped in my mind. I was like,
that's interesting. Yeah, I think that's, totally fine. I mean, also alternatively, you can just put the herbs in a bath and do that. I feel like that's probably the easiest way, because then you also can do that while you have an outbreak or any infection, because it's mainly the steam that's going to be harmful if you have an infection, but the bath itself would be fine, or a sitz bath. I would say that would probably be the best bet.
Okay, nice. So somebody that would maybe purchase this, then you have a few different options, or as you said, you give a few different dosages in there. I don't even know if that's the right word, but uses is probably better than dose.
Yeah, that works. Either works.
Yeah, so if I try steaming for the first time, I'm like, this is a no-go for me, then I can still use the herbs in a bath, so that would make me feel better.
Exactly. Or people, when I posted about it, there was people who were like, I would never want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Which I'm like, first off, I hate when people comment things. I'm just like, then just don't do it.
Yeah, and don't comment. Like, what purpose are you serving?
Yeah, you're just, whatever. That's fine. But, yeah, I was like, you can just put it, if, like, steaming's not for you, put it in your bath. It works just as well, like, totally fine.
I like it. So. Cool, and it smells good.
Yeah, and it smells great, yeah.
Cool. So anything else that, you have this product, and is there any other things like programs or anything that you offer for people?
Not at the moment. Pretty much it's just products right now. I do distance Reiki services though. So that's the only other thing I do.
Yes. And how, aside from Instagram, is that the best way for people to find you if they're interested in this? Yes,
that, or if you go on my website, there's somewhere on there's like a contact me. So that will go right to my email.
Awesome. And if you have time, I'd love to hear if somebody was going to do distant Reiki, what would they get from that?
Yeah. So a lot of people think that with distance Reiki, it's like a conversation, like we're either like on the phone or like FaceTiming, whatever. It's completely remote. So a lot of people get kind of turned off by that because it sounds like very crazy and like very woo-woo, which I guess kind of is, like, I don't know. But, so basically usually I'll need like a photo of the person just to kind of visualize them. Obviously I need their name, a little bit of what they want to work on if they want to talk about it. If not, that's fine. I can just like feel around, but they don't have to be doing anything specific during the time. I still like to set a time just so they kind of have some sort of like something to think about. And I just think it's nice if people want to like lie down, take a nap, meditate, do yoga, just something like calming. You don't have to be doing anything specific. The main thing is like just don't be driving at the moment. So yeah, I'll start working as if the person was on my work table. So I'll use these various Reiki symbols to connect to them. And then I'll feel their aura, feel their chakras, and then just kind of go in to see what needs healing. So, and I'll work for about like a half hour or so. I also do a tarot card pull before the treatment, and then after I'll tell them what I felt and then the tarot card information and see how that goes. So,
nice. That is very interesting.
Sounds kind of wild, but it's cool. I mean, when I first learned Reiki, I was in person. I was like, okay, that makes sense to me, but it took me a while to really wrap my head around the distance part. But after doing it in class for the first time, I worked on my roommate because we needed a model. So she was at home and I was working on her, and I felt like a lot going on in her throat. And I was like, after I was like, oh, like, what's going on with your throat? Like, I felt a lot there. And she was like, oh, I accidentally drank nail polish. And she said her throat hurt really badly. And then said it felt fine after. So I was like, cool. So that's
interesting.
I don't know why she did that, but like,
I'm just like, I have so many questions, but now is not the time.
I have all the questions too. I didn't like press that, but I'm just like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, so yeah, so many helpful things. I think that I asked all the questions that I had. As I said, I was very much going into this as a virgin myself to the whole steaming process. So I think that we've covered everything. And again, knowing that if it doesn't work out in the steaming realm, you can use it as a bath. That I love taking baths, and I'm definitely I want to check this out. So thank you so much for sharing. For sure. And again, you can find Tricia at Safe Slut on Instagram, and we'll link her Instagram account and your website so that if somebody is interested in your services, they can easily find you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a thing. And if you loved it so fucking much, be sure to leave a 5-star review. I'll see you next week, and until then, keep owning your sexual self.